So I did a poll about which 5-star character in Black Beacon was the absolute worst, and Nanna was almost unanimously voted. Though there were a few defenders in the comments, which makes me think that there might be more nuance to this than we initially thought. So I wanted to take a look at her, really take a look, and determine if this opinion was valid or whether it's just due to a skill issue on the part of the user. I'm Shrike, subscribe for more gacha content, let's dive in. So right off the bat, we need to judge this girl based on how good she is in her designated role. You wouldn't say Logos is bad because Li Che deals more damage. Nanna is an off-field sub-DPS, which means she's meant to be on a team with a main DPS and a support. And so those are the criteria under which we'll judge her. Let's talk about marks. A universal truth, however, is that no unit can be good in any role if they don't have the right gear. So let's go over the best way to build Nanna. The recommended build from the game is Sage's Heart as her 10-piece, and the Terracotta General as one of her 5 pieces. This is pretty much exactly what I've found to be the most useful, since Sage's Heart is the off-field mark basically, and it'll improve the damage she does with the spinning blades while she's off-field. As for the second 5-piece, I suggest Golden Branch, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so real talk time. I bugged and bugged the big brains in Discord to tell me what the best build and use for her was, but each time they either ignored me or said the bench. Super helpful, so I'm left to my own devices here. With that being said, during my time testing out Nanna, I found one scenario where she didn't feel like a burden, where she actually seemed like she could really shine. And that was as a dark anomaly builder. And so for that reason, I suggest Golden Branch as her second 5-piece. I really think building her as a DPS would be suboptimal. As for stats, I suggest Dark Damage, Elemental Anomaly Mastery, and then possibly Pierce, though I'm not sure how much effect that'll have on the anomaly damage. Crit rate is another option, however only the initial kaboom of the anomaly activating can crit as far as I know. Now I want to talk about her kit, and you'll start to see why I used her where I did. Her basic attack has a boosted version, and I'm using boosted instead of enhanced so I don't confuse people. She has a kind of stance she can enter, and when she does, her basic attack does an extra attack. Not too useful, even if you're using her as a proper sub-DPS. In fact, much of her kit does something different depending on what stance you're in, which suggests a lot of field time, using multiple skills and switching from one stance to another, and then using the boosted versions of another skill. But in my opinion, she can't carry that way. Her skill 1 is what her whole kit is centered around. In her starting stance, using this skill will throw her blade at the enemy, and if it hits, one blade will drop to the ground. You'll see it as a glowy circle on the ground. What you'll want to do as soon as you see the blade has dropped is press skill 1 again, and then while she's attacking, aim at the fallen blade. What she'll do is kaboom off the enemy and toward the blade, and once she picks it up, her moon blades will start spinning around her. This whole sequence deals enhanced damage, so using the mark that boosts that is certainly an option, but the actual blades when they're spinning will deal chase damage. Now on to skill 2. Just a 3-hit combo, 4 hits if she's just picked up the blade. You can largely ignore this attack or just throw a skill 2 right before you swap her out if you want to deal a little extra dark anomaly build-up. Her passive is why she picks her blades back up and they spin around her. It's what switches her stances, and it's what boosts the other abilities based on what stances she's in. Her ultimate is just another damage dealing attack too. It puts a circle zone up and damages everyone in it. Skill priority is pretty easy. You'll want to focus on her skill 1 and her passive, and after that her ultimate, which won't be super crucial to get, but when it is available you'll want it to be impactful. The combo next, because that includes her intro attack and you'll be swapping her out a lot, so that's a good one. After that you can throw some resources at skill 2 if you really want. Now combat. As I mentioned in the kit section, during combat you'll want to, well, first you'll want to not start with her on the field. Start with a buffer or a debuffer. That's just in my opinion the best way to start. You'll pop your debuffs and your buffs, then swap to Nanna. Immediately get some distance and skill 1 at the enemy. Watch for the dropped blade. If you see it, skill 1 again and aim for that blade. She'll bounce off the enemy towards it and start spinning the blades. Now either throw a boosted skill 2 at them or swap out to your main DPS. What this will do is allow Darkness Anomaly to be building passively, while you have another character on field doing another element damage. And if you're fast enough, the buffs from your support should still be active and helping. This setup will allow both anomalies to build up together, making it much easier to attain overload. So to summarize her combat, swap in, skill 1 again, bounce back to the blades, then swap out. That's it. Very short field time, very simple sequence. Spotting the blades can be kind of difficult in all that turmoil, and that's probably why some people prefer more of a set it and forget it type of off-field DPS like Viola. But yeah, when you notice the blades are gone, just swap to your buffer, buff, then swap back to Nanna, and repeat. Okay, so as far as teams go, I actually think that Hefe is her best support due to her innate affinity for Anomaly. As for who to helm the team, that's up to you, but Florence and Licha are great DPS. Personally, I use her with Hefe and Florence, since Florence also synergizes extremely well with Hefe. I'm not sure that Nanna is the best in slot for a Florence Hefe team, but since this is a Nanna guide, she kinda has to be there. And I think that's the crux of Nanna actually. She does the job of a sub DPS fine, but others are better in the role. She's not best in slot for any team. And I even think as far as Dark Anomaly units go, Wuxi is probably better. Though I have to admit I haven't attempted his combat style yet. So it is possible that he's better built as a pure DPS, in which case Nanna could end up being the best Dark Anomaly unit, since her blades can stay on the field while she's off field. I guess only time will tell. And I know there are Nanna mains out there, and I invite you to share all the broken crap you've done with her in the comments. Best teams, best uses. This is one character I wasn't too sure about. I'm sure there's a trick or two with her that I've overlooked. I've only been using her for 2 days, but I think I will continue to use her as an anomaly unit. Her playstyle is actually kind of fun, and it's surprisingly satisfying seeing erosion pop up at the same time Florence triggers burning, and then kabam, instant overload. There's also the possibility of a 3-element overload, and I have a feeling an off-field anomaly unit might be crucial to this team because of the anomaly cooldowns, but that's yet to be tested. And poor Florence wouldn't be able to be in that team since Hefe is fire. Maybe Ching could work, stasis, burning, and erosion. Could be cool. But with that being said, I'm gonna fly. See you in the next one. Bye.